Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have any trouble seeing this webinar, if you have any questions, just email marketing@pure39.com. Okay, so thanks for joining today's webinar. Most of you guys know who I am, but for those of you who don't, I'm Natalie Fairchild. I'm an account manager here at Pure39, and I manage all buyers who access our data through AppNexus. In today's webinar, I'll describe how we are integrated into AppNexus's system. I'll introduce our AdStats attributes, ad count, and ATF index, or above the fold index. I'll demonstrate how to use our new AdStats app in AppNexus and review some common questions about the app. And finally, I'll tell you guys about some of the success we have seen using the AdStats attributes. This webinar will take about 20 minutes to complete, and like I said, if you have any questions, please email them to marketing@pure39.com, and we'll address them after the webinar. So this is a high-level overview of how we are built into AppNexus. As a web page loads, an ad call is sent to the AppNexus impression bus. From here, the ad call is sent to the cookie store to collect any cookie data that may be available. And then the ad call is then passed back to the impression bus and sent to data providers, including Pure39. Here, our system is able to analyze the web page that the ad call is coming from, attach data attributes to the ad call, and return it back to the impression bus in sub 5 milliseconds. The bid request is then sent to auction for buyers on display words, demand-side platforms, and bidders. Bid decisions are returned, and the highest advertiser bid delivers to the web page. Pure39 sees around 8.5 billion impressions a day on AppNexus and returns data on around 95% of everything. Pure39's solution consists of over 200 attributes that fall under 3 data channels: category, safety, and quality. Category attributes define the meaning and context of a page, like parenting and kids or personal finance, which advertisers can use as content verticals across multiple inventory sources. When advertisers target attributes within the safety channel, such as safe or mature, they are preemptively excluding objectionable content, as well as web pages that are unverified to be safe. The quality channel includes indicators of a web page's structure or the kind of web page it is, such as UGC or homepage. The AdStats product falls under the quality channel. Okay, so the first AdStats indicator is ad count, which defines the number of ads per page. There are 3 ad count attributes. Ad count low are pages with only 1 to 3 ads. Ad count medium is 4 to 6 ads on the page, and then ad count high are pages with 7 or more ads. We see 1.5 billion impressions a day that come from web pages with a low ad count. The other AdStats indicator is the ATF index, or above the fold index. These attributes define the likeliness of an ad to be viewed based on its position on the page in relation to the fold. There are 3 ATF index attributes: high, meaning a high probability that the ad will be viewed; medium; and low. We see over 4 billion impressions a day that are highly likely to be viewed by the user. So how do we calculate AdStats? AdStats attributes are derived from a statistical approach to information gathered from a web page's structure. By understanding the structure of a web page, we understand the number of ads on the page, the position of the ads on the page, and the sizes of those ads. With these 3 pieces of information, we can determine ad count and ATF index. I have a few examples of how the ATF index calculation works. Let's say we have a web page with this structure: a 300 by 250 and a 728 by 90 above the fold, and a 160 by 600 below the fold. We would classify this web page as ATF index high for the 300 by 250 and the 728 by 90, and then low for the 160 by 600. We would also classify this web page with a low ad count, as it only has 3 ads on the page. Now let's say that you have two 300 by 250s above the fold and one below the fold. Best 2 out of 3 gets a high ATF index. Then we have one 728 by 90 above the fold and 2 below the fold. Best 1 out of 3 gets a low ATF index. And two 160 by 600s, one above and one below. This is a 50-50 shot, so it's classified as ATF index medium. And this page would also be classified with high ad count. And here's one last example. Let's say you have 7 300 by 250s, 2 above the fold and 5 below, which is a 28% possibility that this ad will serve above the fold. That's low. Best 4 out of 6 for the 728 by 90s here gets a high probability index. And a 160 by 600 above the fold is an ATF index high. But does this really look like the kind of page you want your ad serving on? This page would be classified as a high ad count. By targeting to pages with a low ad count, you would preemptively bypass any page that looks like this. Now I'll go into the demo of our new app. You'll see a loading page. It'll take a few minutes to come up on your screen. Okay, so you can find the Peer39 app here in the App Marketplace under Data Provider. If you don't have access to the App Marketplace, contact your AppNexus account manager to get access. Once you install the app, you can target to creatives by ATF index. You will see this Peer39 AdStats link on your Apps tab on the left. This takes you to a landing page. But the app actually doesn't exist here. Instead, here you can find up-to-date daily avails on some of our most widely used categories. Instead, the app is actually in the creative workflow here. To target above the fold, click the box here next to the creative you would like to target. Go to More Actions, open the Peer39 AdStats app, and choose the ATF index you'd like. In this case, I'll choose high. Press Submit, and you'll get a message saying submitted successfully. The app will close automatically. If you want to check if a creative has an ATF index applied to it, select the creative, reopen the app, and you can verify whether there's an ATF index there or not. Now you can select multiple ad sizes to apply a creative to as long as they are the same ad size. So I have two 300 by 250s here, so I can select both. Go to More Actions, open the app. In this case, I'll select high and medium. You can select more than one. And down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see it has, you have selected 2 creatives, and if you glide over this, you can see which creatives. Submit. Successful, and it'll automatically close. So that's it. It's really pretty simple. I'll go back to the presentation. Okay, you should all see the presentation now. And I've gotten a few common questions from users that are already using the app, so I'll go ahead and review those with you as well. So the first one, why did you create an app for a product that was already released? AdStats has actually been out since late last year at the campaign level, but until now, buyers have had to separate campaigns targeting to above-the-fold placements by creative size. We found that many of our clients prefer to have the flexibility of linking multiple creative sizes to a campaign, and this app enables that flexibility. Can I select multiple creatives to apply to an ATF index simultaneously? And I know I just mentioned this point, but again, yes, you can, as long as the sizes of the creatives are the same. If they aren't the same, you'll get an error message. Can I apply more than one ATF index to a creative, like high and medium? And as I showed you, yes, you can. Can I exclude an ATF index attribute? No, you can't, but we've always recommended to not do this anyway. If you want to target to add placements above the fold, it's best to include the ATF index high attribute. It's better to do it that way than to exclude low. Is there a way I can see if an ATF index attribute is applied at the campaign level? No, right now there isn't a way to do this, but you can check if there is an ATF index applied at the creative level like I showed you in the demo. If I want to change the creative, how will it affect the ATF index targeting that's already applied? It won't affect the targeting that's already applied unless you change the size of the creative. If you are changing the size of the creative, you'll need to first go in and remove the ATF index attribute, and then change the creative, and then reopen the app and reapply the ATF index attribute. If in the future you forget these steps and you're not sure if it's targeting correctly, just let me know and I can easily go in and check if your campaign is set up correctly. Should I apply the ATF index before or after the creative audit process? It doesn't matter. The Peer 39 app functions completely independently of the audit, so you can apply it before or after the audit process. And I have one more question. Can I still use the booked revenue or serving fee function when I use the app? Oh, it's a trick question. It actually isn't necessary to use the booked revenue feature in AppNexus when using Peer 39 data. Peer 39 is the only data provider on AppNexus that receives daily auto reports, which include the volume ran with our data, which products were used, and the media costs by campaign for all of our buyers. These auto reports have eliminated the need for our clients to collect the data usage on their side. However, with that said, if you ever want to compare numbers, I'm happy to do so. So I want to share some data that we've seen on AdStats performance. This first slide shows what we have found from a post-campaign analysis. This campaign was for an insurance advertiser and ran for a total of 159 million impressions. The campaign CTR was a 0.031 and the baseline CVR, or conversion rate, was at 0.015. We ran this campaign's URLs through our system and overlaid performance data over the 3 data channels to find pockets of performance. This is what we saw for the ATF index attributes. ATF index high performed well over the performance benchmarks. For click-through rate, it got about a 0.06%, and here you see the benchmark of a 0.031, and the conversion rate was at about a 0.022. Here's another post-campaign analysis for a computer technology advertiser. This campaign ran across 192 million impressions and ended with a CTR of 0.046% and a conversion rate of 0.018. ATF index high pages performed over the CTR benchmark here. As for ad count, we found higher CTRs for ad count low and medium, and a higher conversion rate for ad count low here. So this is a success case for a dating service advertiser. This was a CTR campaign and was getting a 0.05% on the singles and dating subcategory. The client reached out to me for a recommendation on how to improve performance, and I suggested that they try targeting to above the fold placements. They did, and they immediately saw a significant lift here of a 0.27% click-through rate. And here's the final success case. This buyer was running a CPA campaign for a political advertiser. They were casting a wide net here, running the campaign run of exchange, so not targeting to anything else. And then they laid on above the fold high index, and high and medium, and they saw a great performance lift here, increasing their total conversions by 19% and their conversion rate by 45%. But what's also really great about this campaign is they only increased their cost by 5%, and that's including the cost of the data. So this concludes today's webinar. We will be sending out a survey to everyone in a few moments. We'd love to get your guys' feedback on the information that we covered today. And if you fill out the survey, we will send you a $5 Starbucks gift card. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, email marketing@care39.com, and we'll answer them later today. This webinar will be posted on our website under the blog section. So thanks, everyone, and have a nice rest of the day.